Okay, so I finally give myself a chance to really sit through Amazon's Prime original series, The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Now, for those that may not even know, we got our own Lord of the Rings series that came out in like 2022. And at first, I won't lie, the first time I ever watched it, I kind of was a no. And I feel that was a big response to the first season. I think it's because personally, if you grew up with the movies, it's really hard to watch this series at first if you're very attached to the films. But then I felt once I detached from the film and just really watched the series for what it is and just look at it from a fantasy perspective, I actually feel there's a lot in this TV show that you can enjoy and love if you love Lord of the Rings. Even if you love Game of Thrones, you might enjoy this as well. It seems like this series is pretty much we're getting into a prequel of a lot of things that we've seen in the films. Example A, we are literally, it feels like we're getting the entry into how Sauron, the big bad of these movies, came to fruition, which is kind of like the Darth Vader effect. But it's not because Sauron is a creature, he's a character with powers, he has armies of these things like trolls and orcs, he shapeshifts. So he's technically really a fantasy mythological character, and what I'm learning is that we might see how he was formed and curated. Now, I've only seen up to episode 5, but there is more narratives that I'm seeing within this series that I do enjoy. Like, guys, like we get to see elves, all types of elves, black, white. I love it. I love the elf culture because they show you that the elves weren't all high and mighty. They have a story. They dead came from the bottom. It feels like there were two different elves communities so far. That's what I'm gathering. Seems like there is a bunch of elves that are in a kingdom, and there are some elves that had a kingdom, but I think that kingdom is being overruled because the orcs are rising in a sense. And not to mention this beautiful elf queen that is talking right now to none other than the ancestor of Aragorn, it seems like. Like that's a whole nother thread. It seems like they gave you a thread for every character you loved from the movie. Like this is like Aragorn's great grandfather, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments. Now, aside from this thread, we also have the Hobbits. I love the Hobbits. Now, this thread, you guys let me know in the comments. I'm not crazy about us finding a tall old man. I don't like the shadowing of an old young Gandalf. I don't know. I didn't ask to see the origin of that. Let me know in the comments if you even feel like that's like a hinting at Gandalf. But I do love all the Hobbit showings and scenes and characters. Now, when we get into the map, guys, we are now going to the Southlands, which I'm learning is such a very important part of this series. The Southlands is where elves are being enslaved by orcs that can't be in the sunlight. Some of these orcs look like some of the orcs from Return of the King, but the fact that they were slaves and having to work for them to me is the most interesting thing that has me stuck in this show. Guys, have you watched this series? Do you like it? Are you going to try it out? Because I'm going to season 2. Let me know in the comments of what is your favorite Lord of the Rings movie. Like, subscribe, tell a friend.